One Friday Fights 81 took place yesterday at 2 p.m. South African time from Lupini Stadium, Bangkok, Thailand. It took Superbon just 1 minute and 34 seconds to smoke Joe Nattawut, and we also saw rising star Kimran Nabati defeat Nong-O. All this and more this time on Fighting with Friends. And gentlemen, welcome back to Fighting with Friends, the undisputed African fighting podcast, champion of the world. Speaking of champions, ladies and gentlemen, I have with me, as always, the reigning, defending, undisputed vegan champion of the world, ladies and gentlemen, Brother Gaia.
Yes, boy. Let's do it. Friday fights, bro. What a fucking fight card it was. As advertised from top to bottom. Explosive.
Explosive is the right word, I would say, Brother Gaia. Speaking of explosive, ladies and gentlemen, we also have with us this morning, still undefeated here at the CPS report, last time out winning by first round KO. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the kid Nazim, aka
Yes, sir. Newly converted fan also.
Yeah,
Bro.
I see, sir.
I'm sure there are many of those today, bro. Like I said, it took Superbon just 1 minute and 34 seconds to get the job done against Smoking Joe Nattawut. So as always, boys, we're going to start at the top of the card. And true to form, really, with the one championship, early night at the office for us. So, Brother Gaia,
Again.
what you got for us here, bro?
Early night again, as one was advertised with like these knockouts and finishes that are very high rate on most of these cards. This fight, I think, surprised all of us as well as Superbon himself. I watched his press conference after the event, his post-fight conference, and then he mentioned that he didn't expect to actually knock out Joe with that elbow. He was hoping to fight a little bit longer and get the knockout with the high kick, which is what we were also predicting he was going to do. So it was all by surprise. I didn't think the fight was going to end that quickly. To be quite honest, I didn't even see the knockout. I was looking at the screen, and then I just saw Joe on the floor, and I was like, I asked Tyler, what did I just watch? Like, what happened? Was that the left? Was it the right? But then when you watch the replay back, it was like probably one of the most creative elbows. It's almost like a super leg, from the defensive position, but then he just held it there and just snuck it up like that. And I thought, oh, perfect. Even Smoking Joe, he looked like he was so dazed. He didn't even know where it came from, bro. And I just thought that was masterful. Superbon looked really good for that 1 minute. His tight guard was really well. He looked a lot more powerful than usual. And I think he looks ready for another title shot. I think he called out Shingiz, and he also called out obviously Tawan Chai. Either one of those fights would be amazing for him to have. And Superbon
Absolutely.
deserved the bonus.
Superbon making a
Deserved
massive
the bonus.
statement, bro. Yeah. Like you said, bro, the elbow was like something out of the Matrix, bro. It was fucking crazy. But Babu, what you got for us here, bro?
You were watching the fight. I was also stunned. I was watching the fight and I was like, the right elbow that landed, the left elbow that landed first. I was like, okay, that was sneaky. And then in that clinch, the right elbow was just placed perfectly. And I also was like, he just collapsed. And then on the replay, I saw like, oh shit, that was like a perfectly placed elbow. That I get it. But then even like the shot of the ref just holding the fighter, you could see like that kicks was already leaving its mark, because you can see like the effects that it had. So like the setup to his game plan was already in motion, and then that elbow was just placed perfectly.
Yeah, completely agree.
Definitely.
It's just too short of a fight. Yeah, you called it. Yeah, you definitely called it.
Preview, bro.
And I like Superbon. I like what Superbon said as well, because I did highlight in the preview that Smoking Joe was the better boxer and he was going to be the one that used that handstand to, feint a lot. But Superbon said the elbows can counter the boxing, and that's what he used. And I think like Babu mentioned this year with the body kicks that he was setting up with was working. He was making Smoking Joe almost double or like rethink when he was gonna fire off a shot again because he from that body kicks he was starting to move on the back foot quite often, and you could see it coming. Superbon is just super elite, super elite.
Super
Yeah,
Bond,
so well
super
done,
elite. Yeah.
well done on calling that one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I did say that stepping knees and body kicks were going to be a factor. So
Yeah.
we didn't really see any stepping knees. I mean, there wasn't enough time really. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, it's always nice when you call something and it goes that
You know
way.
what
So
was quite
shout out to
interesting?
Superbon.
You know
Yeah.
what's quite interesting about that fight also? I think this was also what made us look at Superbon a little bit differently. The fight wasn't scheduled for 5 rounds. It was scheduled for 3 rounds, which made sense as to why Superbon was actually pushing the pace from the first minute like that because he only had that 3 minute rounds to work with, lot less time. So it made sense why we saw him fire off so quickly.
Mm-mm. Babu, any final thoughts on this one before we skate?
Nah, just a great bonus for 1 minute 30. Worked
50
out his
G's,
endurance.
baby.
All
Yeah,
right.
no,
Yeah. So shout
1 point.
out to Superbon getting the job done in spectacular fashion. But
Yeah.
next up, boys, we're gonna go to the bantamweight Muay Thai bout where we saw officially now friend of the show, Cameron Nabati, getting the job done
Hi.
against Nong-O by unanimous decision. So yeah, I mean, from what I saw, Nyong, like we said at the time, he wasn't biting on the feints. But I
Yeah.
thought Cameron did a good job staying in there. I think he was
Mm,
tested a lot in this fight more than he has
he
been in his
was.
previous fights, and he really showed his mettle and again just showed a different side of himself.
Hmm.
That really got that championship medal, and I think he's once again we said in the preview he's a frightening contender, and yeah,
Yeah.
even more so now I think. So yeah,
Yes.
BG, what are your thoughts here, bro?
Hmm. Yeah, I think if anyone had any doubts on Cameron's Nabati's sort of stake in this bantamweight division after beating someone that's an 8-time bantamweight Muay Thai champion, that has to say something. You know what I mean? It has to now make his resume a lot more powerful than what it was before. He had to go through adversity in this fight because Nong-O wasn't fighting on any of the fence, like you said, and also he utilized two game plans, which I only thought he can really use because he wasn't able to get in range with boxing, which was chopping at the calf kick, and then if that didn't work, going to the body shots with his body kicks, and you could see Cameron's body was red, like his rib cages were both sides were red from that left switch body kick was just landing for long, and he was for the most part dealing with the pace, but the thing is, Cameron didn't stop. He just kept on moving, literally for the whole fight. He kept on pushing forward. He was landing some cool boxing, and he was just yeah, his metal was tested and he survived. He passed the tests for me, and I think the I don't know about unanimous. I maybe would have gone majority because I think round three could have gone. Excuse me, round two could have gone to Nong-O. Round one was very very difficult for me to have scored that one. But then round three, definitely Cameron came out and just stole that round completely. So for me, I would have said
Mm,
majority decision, not necessarily unanimous. But end of the day, he fought against one of the high echelon fighters in one championship. Like I said, he's 8-time former champion, so that must tell you that Cameron is definitely now in the top four, top three, and you can call the shots next. Probably get uh mm,
he called
maybe
out Jonathan
Haggerty.
Agati.
Yeah, I was saying Haggerty. That's
Yeah,
probably the next one makes the most sense for me. But
let's
just
get it done. One championship for our boy Cameron Nabati.
the massive performance from fighters in the end of the day, like absolutely amazing to watch them go for those 3 rounds.
Absolutely agree, brother Gaia. Babu, what's your thoughts here, bro?
It was an interesting fight. I looked at it the same way Ross did, and in round two, it seemed like the it was like going in one way, and in round three,
Mm,
Nabati really stepped up the output,
mm,
and I think like the output of the whole fight, like he was the one that was attacking with volume, and I
mm,
think that really got him the win here because I think Nong-O was the more damaging fighter, but the
Yeah.
output didn't match the damage.
Mm.
And I think
I mean, the damage
that's
doesn't match the
the
output.
last thing. Yeah, the damage didn't match the
Yeah.
output.
Yeah.
And I think like that was the lasting impression that I got from the fight. And
Mhm.
I would also say m- maybe Nabati is a bit young because Nong-O did look like he's seen this before. He was walking through
Mhm.
everything, and I think that experience did play on like how he wasn't biting on the feints because it was like, oh, I've seen your type of fighter before, and that's why he could just keep the pressure and keep moving forward. But a fun fight nonetheless,
Mm.
and Nabati did come through trials and tribulations in that fight
Yeah.
because it didn't seem like he was going to put Nong-O out, or he wasn't hurting him with too many of that combinations that he was landing.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Babu.
Yeah.
For me, I did think that the volume from Nabati
Yes.
was the decisive factor in the fight.
And he had
But also
constant
just to
pressure,
come
man.
back
He
to your
was.
point about the boxing, yeah, the
Yeah.
output and the pressure, he was kind of dictating the pressure, the pace of the fight. But just come back to your point about the boxing, brother Gaia. I was
Mm.
very impressed with Nabati's body work in this fight, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
his fight, he would always, not always, but a lot of the times, he finished his combos with a body shot, and he
Yeah.
caught Nong-O unaware a lot of the times with that final body shot before exiting. So yeah, I
Mm.
was very impressed with him again, and again, I thought, like I said, showed a different side of himself and a side
Yeah.
that you need to be a champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought he was
Absolutely.
extremely impressive on the night. So any
Yeah.
final thoughts here, boys?
Did he get a bonus? No, no.
No,
There was no finish,
I'm
but
not
they could have given
sure
like
that
maybe
one.
performance of the night because, dude, to go 3 rounds against Nong-O, who's a bull to deal with in that ring, to have navigated
Yeah,
Nong-O for that 3 rounds, I think you should have gotten a performance of the night for me. Um, I
I
know I
do
said off
agree. I do
camera
agree
that
with that.
Takeru should have gotten it, but he went in there against Nong-O guys and fought toe to toe with
Not
him for three
biased at
rounds.
all,
Like,
brother guy.
yeah, nah, non-biased
But
opinion. I
yeah,
think Cameron Nabati should have gotten that.
I do agree. I do agree. Shout out to Cameron Nabati and Mr. What's his name? The one championship owner,
Chaudhary, you seen that
Sidia
Saudi.
Chai, Sidia
No,
Tong.
man.
Make it happen there for our boy, Sidia Tong.
Yeah,
Anyway, guys, let's keep it moving. And
let's
here
do
we
it.
saw what Babu described as a big brother, little brother fight. We saw Nabil Anane beat the man of steel Soe Lin Oo by unanimous decision. And yeah, look, Babu, I thought that was a very accurate description. The way you summed it up there. So tell us a bit more about why you kind of put it that way.
It was the one. I think it was the one push kick up the middle where it just made him fly back, and I was like, oh yeah, I could see like if I had like a taller brother and like a lay brother, that's what he would do. See, and he was just the range that he was fighting at. It was like I'm not allowing you anywhere
Mm,
close to me, and I think that was the difference because anytime he came close, the knees were flying, and
mm,
he was pawing, he was keeping his arms length, and he engaged when he wanted to engage, and he dictated that fight perfectly in his advantage, and it's really uh, it's gonna be really difficult to see like a shorter fighter really take him like to his limit. Like we were saying in the previous fight with Nabati, like that's a bite down on your gumpies type of fight. And I would like to see Nabil in such a fight, but I can't really see a lot of people dealing with that range in that
mm,
way. I do think there is matchups there for him that will make him bite down in his mouthpiece. But overall, it was a decent performance for him, and like one of that performances that you'll see in highlight packages of like excerpts of the fight, landing a knee, landing an elbow, keeping the man at the range. But
mm,
a lovely fight nonetheless.
yeah.
Mm. Brother Gaia?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the best way to describe the fight from my perspective is flawless victory. Shout out to Mortal Kombat. That was absolutely flawless, bro. Like he nullified everything that Sulan had. And like I think the punch count landed for Soe Lin was, I think, below 10. He couldn't land anything for the whole fight. And Nabil, if it was a different fighter, he would have won the fight in the first round already because he was landing damaging blows. Yeah, I think he
Those
rocked Soe Lin
knees,
a
bro.
couple of the knees. He threw a couple of elbows in there as well that had Soe Lin looking dizzy here. And I thought to myself, you know what? I've seen him knock out Kulabdam, Nabil. I've seen him knock out Lobo. Those are top contenders in the bantamweight division. I've just quick matchup in my head I thought about a few seconds ago. Nabil versus Cameron Nabati could be an number one contenders match for the bantamweight, and then maybe a title shot if Cameron doesn't get Agadi. Because Nabil is on the tear. He only lost to Superbon. I think this is now his seventh fight, if I'm not mistaken. That's a win. And he's taken out some of the guys that have been in the top 10. So I just thought it was a perfect display of Muay Thai from the young lad. But he did make a point in his first interview saying that he wants to take his time. He's only 20 now, I think, or something like that. He's very young, so he really wants to be patient with his run to the title. So I'm just going as a fan here saying that would be a very nice fight to watch, Nabil versus Cameron Nabati. That would be sick. But in this fight here, I think he was just absolutely flawless.
Yeah, I mean, it's very
Everything he
difficult.
threw. Sorry,
It's
Eddie.
difficult to deal with that range, bro. It's just because I was obviously working and then I was watching the fight on my other screen, and every time I looked up, Soe Lin Oo just couldn't get close to him, bro. Just wasn't ever in range. It was, and when Babu said it was like a big brother, little brother, it's almost like you know, you hold your little brother at range like that, and he's trying to hit you.
That's what
It
he
was like
did.
that, bro. It was
Yeah,
like
there's a
that.
few
He
times
poured
where
him so many times on his head, bro. He just held
yes,
his head like,
and
yeah.
then threw an elbow.
Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, we of course wish Nabil Anane all the best in his young career.
Yeah.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've got another panelist joining us right now. This man is undefeated as a father, making his way back to fighting with friends. Ladies and gentlemen, the daddest man on the planet. It's Jedi Knight.
Is it?
That is cat,
It's
buddy.
Jedi Knight.
The one don't even have headsets or nothing.
This guy.
Jedi.
Anyway,
Yo. So
what's happening, Jedi?
Welcome.
good.
Welcome back,
thanks.
bro.
Hey you guys, yeah,
Oh.
thank you.
That was the best.
Okay, boys.
happened?
Anyway, nah, don't worry about it, bro. We
Okay.
just want to get your thoughts on the next fight here. Bantamweight Muay Thai, about what we saw. Your boy, your other boy, brother Gaia, the left meteorite, destroy my boy Suablack with the left meteorite, basically. So Jedi Knight, since you are making your way back this afternoon, bruh, what are your thoughts here?
To be honest, I didn't catch this one. I think I watched from the next one, so I'll catch you after this.
No worries, shit. Brother Gaia, I'm sure
Yeah.
you saw this one, right?
Yeah, hell of a fight. Super entertaining from minute one. Because Suablack, we know how dangerous he is. You know the power he possesses with his left and right, left hand and left kick. But he came up against someone who I felt was a little bit more polished than him. Like I said in the preview, they got similar styles, but I just felt Kulabdam was a little bit more polished in how he utilizes his southpaw stance. Suablack, you could see he was trying to find range and he couldn't really get it. He actually didn't get range at all because Kulabdam was so brilliant in how to navigate the distance. Suablack was at some point started throwing a lot of spinning kicks to try and get in, but it wasn't really working. And Kulabdam was utilizing a lot of the low kicks in the first round, low and body kicks in the second round to set up for the third round, and then just put the gas on and it just went for the kill shot, and then he set up his left meteorite perfectly by throwing in a low kick, high kick, and then turned the corner, came in hard with that jab, and then straight left. And then the way Kulabdam fell, it just like you look at him to take a nap. He just put his hands up like this. He just took a nap, bro. I was like, look at this shit.
I can't blame him, bro. That's what happens to the Oaks, bro. It's the left meteorite.
It was a beautiful display of all the tools of Muay Thai from Kulabdam's side, especially how he was able to navigate the power of Suablack. He never really allowed Suablack to settle in and set up sort of his combos or set up his power weapons. Kulabdam just navigated the fight extremely perfectly. And yeah, I'm happy to see him get a win back on his record because he was on a 2-fight losing streak. So very nice to see he got another win back and he can climb the ranks again because he's a former 2-time Lupini champion. So well done to Kulabdam.
Mm. Babu, your thoughts, bro?
I thought this fight, like in terms of pace of fight, I thought this fight was
Yeah.
insanely paced because the output from both fighters and not taking a step back from both fighters was insane. But like Ross said, like I think that low kick was very damaging because you could see the visual damage on Suablack's leg, and you could see like he was eating it and still moving forward. So I thought like this was one of, or it was an entertaining fight, even if it didn't end in a KO, because like the pace itself was
Yeah.
just incredible, and the damage that both fighters were just eating, it was insane. Because in this fight, I remember watching it, and I was like, "Oh, what's the amount for somebody to kick me like that on my leg?" And the amount don't exist, bruh. The amount don't exist because that was like the leg kicks. I could see
Yeah.
the velocity in it. And I was like, but my legs snapped after that, but I'm not walking for the next 3 years. Are you sick? Nah, but it's a super entertaining
No
fight,
doubt,
man.
yeah. No
Yeah.
doubt, no doubt.
Big time.
Yeah, okay, boys. Any final thoughts on this one?
I'm concerned for Suablack. I want to obviously see him come back again and stay in the up ranks of this division. But for Kulabdam, dude, I think he set himself up for a good run at the title. He probably won't get a title shot next, but he can definitely call out some of the big names. Maybe a rematch with Nabil. Maybe he gets Nabiti as well. But I mean, there are some fighters. Maybe he gets Lobo. So Kulabdam puts himself in a very good position.
Absolutely. All right, boys, let's keep it moving then. And this time we're going to the strawweight division where we saw the legend Sam A defeat Akram Hamidi by first round
Oh,
KO. And Brother Gaia, we said in the preview that we didn't think Hamidi was going to have anything that Sam A hasn't seen before. And turns out we were correct. So Jedi Knight, I'm to you. You said that you saw this fight. So short bout, but what can you tell us there, bro?
you're on mute.
You need to unmute yourself, bro.
Um, I actually didn't watch this one either. This fight
Nice,
was very,
Jedi.
it's very weird. I don't know why it's so shuffled this way, but I watched not this one.
Okay.
I watched Hama and Nabati. Obviously, I watched the main event. Then I watched the Takeru fight. I watched the one above the Takeru fight. I watched Wagon.
Mm,
Yeah, about
okay.
it.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
I
Cool.
didn't even know there's a strawweight men. I mean, these guys must be tiny.
Okay, so
I'm not
yeah,
sure.
Sam are getting it done. Babu,
Yeah.
your perspective, bro.
Um, as much as we like ask like um judges to be fair to fighters, I think refs also need to be fair to fighters because in this fight, I think like after the first knockdown, the fight was done because
Mm,
that straight that put him out was like he didn't. I don't think he even saw it coming. I don't
mm.
think he was even responsive in that. And the ref should have like just because you can keep your hands up and then put your hands straight down shows like yeah you not like you are not in this fight.
Yeah. He didn't
And
even
that
put his
straight
hands up. His hands were
was
straight down.
yeah
Yeah.
that straight was yo from the depths, bro, and it put him into a different realm, bro. Because I remember in the
Yeah,
group chat when Ross said like yeah this one's dead, I was like could be a possibility,
might be.
but no man, decision. But that was a hell of a straight one.
Yeah, bro. Like I said, I saw Sam walking out, and then I looked again, and he was being interviewed, bro. Afterwards, it's like crazy. But anyway, BG,
Yeah.
from your side.
Yes. Yeah. Was it even a fight? I mean, it was so quick. That was the thing. And like Babu said, I was the interaction of the referee from that first knockdown is what kind of stole the highlights of the fight for me. So I wasn't even paying attention to even the setup that Sam A did to get that left straight the first time, because I thought, why is the ref allowing this to continue? This guy literally can't look at you. He can't even walk. He's absolutely out. And then I let him stand there, and he's just like, oh, another left straight. I thought that was questionable. They should have just stopped it right there, because next thing you know, Akram Hamidi was on a stretcher taken out of the ring. And then,
Yo,
okay, on the press conference later we heard from Chowdhury that he was actually okay. He was all right. But I mean,
obviously they're gonna say he's okay.
the dude was on a stretcher. The dude was sleeping.
When are they gonna
I-
say nah, he's like being rushed to hospital? You know what I mean? They're never gonna
Yeah.
say that. They'll be like, nah, he's fine. But
He's
yeah.
okay.
He's okay. But take nothing away from the performance. Sam at 40 years old, coming in there against a hot prospect in Akram, and basically just shutting him down for the first couple of seconds, and then landing his power shot, which was that left straight. And the job is done. And now Sam is coming back out of retirement, saying he wants to have another run the title as a 40-year-old
Yeah.
man. So I think he
I
can do
love
it.
it. I love
he
it.
can
I
do it.
love
He's
it.
a dog.
Shout out to Sam A. Never too late, bro. Never too late. All right, boys. Any final thoughts on this one before we keep it moving?
So this was
Um,
115 pounds. What was this weight?
mm,
Straw weight. I don't know how
I
many
think it
pounds.
is.
it was.
I
90.
think it is 115. Yeah.
They say 125. So what's
Oh,
flying with? But anyway, let's keep it moving.
Let us keep it moving indeed, boys. And this time we're going to the featherweight division where we saw Shadow Singha Marwain beat Muhammad Siasarani by unanimous decision. So, Jedi, you see this one?
No.
No? All right, BG.
yeah. Yo, another action-packed fight from minute one. Usually Shadow's the one that starts a little slower in most of his fights, but this fight he didn't. I thought he was pushing the pace from the first minute, because he was up against a very, very powerful and prospect fighter in Muhammad Sarani, sorry. Because he just beat Sitacha in his last fight, and also he looked very composed. He looked powerful. He looked like he was relaxed in there against Shadow. But Shadow, I think Shadow's overwhelming pressure and his durability and his conditioning is what actually won him this fight, because he could take what Muhammad was giving him, and he could give back a tenfold, and Muhammad couldn't take what he was receiving. There was a moment in the third round for like a solid 30 seconds where he was just taking shots from Shadow. He was just taking shots, and he couldn't offer anything back. And I thought, you know what, that's actually a really good performance from Shadow there. I thought he was going to get outperformed here, probably outclassed in terms of struck. But it turned around that he was the one that outstruck Muhammad, and I just thought that was a good overwhelming performance from Shadow there against Muhammad.
Yeah.
For Muhammad's
I
side, I think he
Hmm?
needs to work on his conditioning. I think, because there was a couple of body shots. I think the one that landed in the second round, or was it the first round? Second round body shot he threw that just folded Muhammad, made him sit there, and I was like, that's a nice knockdown. And then Muhammad never really recovered from that body shot after that. You could see he was a bit slower. His steps were a bit slower, and I think Shadow took advantage of that.
Yeah, massive statement by Shadow. I mean, we were saying how
Mm.
impressive it was that Siasarani had beat Sitacha
Yeah.
over 3 rounds, and now, if we do more time math, Shadow beat Siasarani beat Sitacha. So, what does
Yeah.
that say about Shadow, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Babu, from your point of view, bro.
I was gonna mention that that second round body shot that seemed to change the fight, because in that first fight, that first round, whatever Sarani threw, Shadow was countering in the moment. He didn't think about it. Anything that he got that he took, he was just countering straight back. And then I think that pressure itself won him the fight. And then as soon as that body shot landed, I think Sarani tried to psych himself up to go into that third, but then like Ross was saying, in that third, there was a couple of moments where Sarani was just not sure how he wanted to approach, because he knew the counter was gonna land straight after he lands something. And towards the end of the fight, Shadow was really like taking it on himself just to
Mm.
put out damage as much as he can. I think that really won him the fight there.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah, sounds like it was a good one, boys. It was a fantastic
Yeah.
card overall. But yeah, if you have made it this far in the video, please remember to drop a like and also let us know in the comments what you thought about the fights. Who was your fighter of the night? So speaking of fighters of the night, boys, it is time.
Mm,
It is time. We're
mm.
going to the man himself, Takeru Segawa, who beat Thant by second round KO. And boys, as advertised, with the admission
Yeah.
fee alone, Takeru Segawa delivers once again. Um, so Jedi Knight, I'm absolutely convinced you saw this one. So let us know, bro.
Yeah, I did watch this one. I did watch it. Awesome fight. I think it was the performance of the night for me, especially after getting knocked out and then coming back to
Mm.
Mm,
put in the dance in a way. In the fashion that he did, it was awesome. He obviously puts himself in the conversation for the title run again. So yeah, hats off to Takeru. It was a not flawless performance, but a performance that truly shows that he can be a champ.
Mm.
Because
mm. Yeah,
that's what
because
champions do. It
Tanzan
was a
looked
champion.
game, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
He
a
was
champion.
game, bro, and he was
Yeah.
landing, bro.
Mm,
So
yes. Even just
yeah,
before he
definitely
got
agree
knocked
with that,
down,
Jedi.
um, he was
Mm.
still in there. He landed flush on the Keru, but man ate that shot like hamburgers.
Yeah.
Just
So
looked at him. What are you gonna do?
yeah, he just was like,
Oh, yeah.
There's no ways I'm going to lose this fight."
Yeah, I mean, again, as advertised, but brother guy, you of course were like a kid on Christmas for this one. So did you
Yeah.
manage to stay in your
I
seat?
couldn't. No, I couldn't stay in my seat. I actually woke up early. She took an afternoon nap, and I woke up because I was losing my shit here. My heart rate was spiking. I was trying to write down notes. I could actually show you what my notebook looks like. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't. I was shaking so much. My handwriting was like going all over the fucking place. It just looks messed up because that's under how engrossed I was at this fight. I was in it. But for me, more on the performance from the fight, I just thought that Takeru was going to be the one that was going to just outclass, the experience, the quality, just everything that he can do. I thought he wasn't able to win the fight the way he did. And more technically, what he was doing was piecing him up with that low leg kick, the low calf kick. And I think that's what set the pace immediately for Takeru. From the first one that he landed, Tanzin's first action was pushing out the tongue immediately to invite more, which probably not the smartest thing to do, but he did that, and then Takeru just threw calf kick off the calf kick off the calf kick. And then after getting knocked down, or just before he was getting knocked down, he was utilizing the T kick as well, which I was talking about in the preview. And you could see it working. And then obviously Tanzin had the power advantage. You could see with time he threw something at like it landed, and when it did land on Takeru, you could see the damage was there because that low kick left hook was perfect, and then obviously dropped Takeru. But the thing is that I found quite amazing was that when Takeru got back up, like he just went, okay, let's go. Walked forward and he literally started doing exactly the same thing again. Calf kick, body kick, calf kick. Then he started using jabs. In the second round, I think the team kick is what actually folded Tanzin more because at that point the calf kick was already
Mm.
his calf was already was busted, so he switched stances. So then what was happening now is that his defense was taken away. Deep kick after deep kick after deep kick. You could see it was folding him because that's probably why when they were in the pocket and Tanjin was throwing and did land on Takeru, there was no power to it anymore because he had no more gas. There was nothing left. His stomach was taken out. And you could see when Takeru landed that deep kick again, it folded him, got back up, waiting for the kill shot, landed a left hook, dropped Tanzin again. And it was an absolutely amazing performance. But that's what I thought he was going to do. I thought he was going to utilize all of those kind of skill sets to stop someone that has more power than him. And I think by using the calf kick was just a perfect game plan. Remember, I asked about this a few weeks ago. If we can see more low calf kicks like we see in MMA utilized in the sport, it'll change the whole game for the Thai fighters. And look there, Takeru used it.
Brother guy calling it from a mile away. Nicely done, bro. Babu, your thoughts here, bro?
Your performance of the night, all deserved, bruh. This was a monster fight, I did that. But I think like in that first from like opening of round one, I could see that Zen had all the confidence in the world and he really did believe in himself that he was going to put Takeru out.
Mm,
And Takeru didn't have
yeah.
anything that was going to surprise him. And I think from Takeru's side, it's just experience of like the younger fighter. He's like, oh, I've seen this. I've dealt with a power person before. I know how to. I know it's gonna take some time to break you down, and I'm willing to invest. And like Ross was saying, investing in that local and investing in that deep. He's like, you might not feel it the first time, but after like the fifth time, you feeling it. Just the toe itself digging into you. You like and well, I think the knockdown was the surprising factor because I don't think Takeru expected like for him to get baited into that. And then I think when he got up, he was like, "Oh, okay, that was cute, but let me now put on the pressure. Let me not take advantage of the time." And you could see from that knockdown, he just turned it up a bit, and he kept turning it up, and Tanzin he looked as game as possible, and he's very durable, and he had a decent game plan of that power landing. And I guess like if he matches somebody of the same experience or like a little bit less, you will put him out because that didn't need somebody with experience to deal with him. But amazing fight, fans of both. And I think Takeru's order itself, man, just made me like a fan of
Oh,
him
you say the final boss?
till the end, bro. I mean, that
Power is like
Final
the final
boss, bro.
full on anime
from
character,
entrance
Son
alone,
Goku.
I was like, nah.
This man.
But the entrance alone had me, but he was like, that's
Made you a
and
believer.
Tazid's like video package itself was like very heartfelt, man. Like I wanted to root for him, but then Takeru just had like this different like type of entrance. I was like, he's the guy. He's him.
He's got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's the
Guy.
guy.
Yeah.
Right hand.
But
I'm ready.
yeah, shout
Let's
out
fight.
to Rotang. I know you guys. I mean, we're all making a lot about Takeru, and rightfully so. But like Babu said, Thant also made a big fan of me, to be honest, and I'm very very
Yeah,
much
100%.
he
to seeing
went
him
out
fight
on
in the
his
future.
Look, he's only 20 years old.
he
We're going to
went
see a
out
lot
like
more of
a
him.
warrior.
No,
This is one of that
definitely,
fights
and
where you take the loss, but your stock still grows because
Yeah.
of your performance in that
absolutely,
loss. And I think like he
absolutely,
fully deserved it.
absolutely,
Completely
yeah.
agree.
So yeah, Takeru, rightfully so. But yeah, shout out to Tanzan and of course the people of Myanmar who are long-time listeners and great friends of us here at the CPS Report. Shout out to Myanmar. All right, boys, let's keep it going. And this time we are going to the bantamweight for our final bout, which is a kickboxing bout. And here we saw Ilyas
Sick fight.
Enahachi defeat Hiroki Akimoto by unanimous decision. So BG, sick fight, you say? What's on your
Yeah.
mind?
Oh, top class fight. Top class. Yo, what is that dog?
Surely.
It's a bit loud there. The thing, yeah, this fight was high level from the beginning because it's former champ versus former champ. Elias coming into the fight with being a 3-time former champ and also the only guy to beat Superbon in the one championship. I thought Akimoto would have had a bit of the power advantage, but I did think that he was going to maybe get pieced up in terms of the pace and the creativity of Elias. There was a moment in the third round where I think Akimoto maybe have actually won the third round, but one would argue that Elias was maybe taking his foot off the pedal in the third round, just navigated, didn't really take any damage because he did the damage really in the first 2 rounds. And I think he just looked so flawless. He looked like a more polished version of Cameron Nabati, if you think about it, like more experienced in the way he moved. Because I mean, he's older, he's fought longer, he's been the champ. They got a very similar style actually. They got much better. It's almost identical. But I think Elias just, you could see he's more experienced in the way he navigates himself in the fight because he barely took any damage from Akimoto, and Akimoto is no slouch. And the way he mixes up his body shots, the way he almost like a Vasily Lomachenko in the ring there, and I can see why he actually beat Superbon. He just moves so brilliantly. His footwork is probably second to none in this division. I would love to see him fight Superbon again, to be quite honest. I thought he fought the perfect game. I think he dropped Akimoto with a left hook as well, that almost slipped him in that first round. I thought, I think it was towards the end of the first round, got saved by the bell. Pretty sure if the ref stood him up and there was still a couple of more seconds, he sort of put him away. He got saved by the bell there. And then after that, I I think Elias just outclassed Akimoto round 2, round 3 by utilizing the perfect tools of kickboxing: body kicks, low kicks, high kicks, switch kicks, and then also again body work is beautiful to witness. Like I said, Cameron Nabati is brilliant. It's just a raw version of this Elias Anabachi, I think. But yeah, great fight for both fighters. Akimoto, that's now 3 losses. I think 4 losses now. It's not looking good. But I do think that he can still hold his own in the bantamweight.
Give thanks, brother Gaia. Babu, from your side, bro.
Fully agree with Brother Guy's like analysis of the fight. I think he just had a beautiful performance. His footwork was lovely, and the way he was striking it wasn't straight on. It was different angles, landing the whole time, and he kept, even though he landed, he kept moving like to a different angle to land a new combination or a new punch or a new kick. Like he wasn't attacking from like one angle, even though it was landing, he was still switching up the angles, and it was a beautiful performance from him. It's one of that showcase performances, definitely.
All right. Give thanks, Babu. And finally to Jedi Knight. Last word goes to you, sir.
Yeah, look forward to him fighting Super League for the belt, bro. I didn't watch this fight. You guys covered everything that I watched.
That's what we do here at the CPS Reports, bro. We cover everything that you watch.
It's been a
And that's
bad
why
week
you
for
keep
me.
coming to us, the undisputed African podcasting champion of the world. All right, boys. So that about covers it from us, ladies and gentlemen. As always, thank you very much for the support. And if you haven't made it this far, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll be back very soon, possibly tomorrow, to bring you the recap for UFC Paris. So keep a lookout for that one, ladies and gentlemen. As always, from myself, Brother Gaia, Babu, and Jedi Knight, all of us here at the CPS Reports, have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next time.